Hello learners, this is Habiba with Pedagogy of Social Sciences with the topic Aims and Objectives of Learning Social Sciences and the subtopic Academic Standards. Introduction. Time should be spent in making sure that children comprehend the passages given in text. In between questions are useful in this context. These questions are of different types that would include the aspects of reasoning, cause and effect, justification, mind mapping or concept mapping, observation, analysis, thinking and imagination, reflection, interpreting, etc. So, whatever time we spend in making any lesson plan to achieve some learning objectives, we should ask students to read the textbook also. Why? Because of passage of time, what will happen? Whatever they have learnt in the textbook, read in the textbook, they will remember and grasp when you explain them in clear manner. In between, you should ask questions also related to that topic which they are reading, so that whatever they read, it will print in their mind for future usage. So whatever questions you will prepare, that should be of great deal, as if they should apply in future life also. The topics which they grasp, understand, they should apply in real life also, real life situations. How, what kind of questions it should be? It should be related to reasoning. That means why, how it had happened, why. Don't ask only the closed end questions. Do you have this? Did you do that? Those are close ended. Yes or no questions are close ended. You should ask open ended questions so that they will think and give their own answers, like reasoning, cause and effect. If it, what is the cause of this, and if that happened, what was the effect of that? For example, we take in social sciences wars. So many wars occurred in past history. So what were the causes of those wars? What happened because of that wars, and what were the effects of that wars? So it should be such that it should be thought provoking. And also it should justify, the question should justify why you are asking questions to the students. Mind mapping. Mind mapping means the question you should ask which they will have interlink between those things. Concept mapping. If you are giving any concept, that should have different aspects to that, connecting to that topic. Then observation. The question should be observation related, and they could be able to do analysis of that. Thinking and imagination. You should improve the thinking and imagination power of the students through your questions. Reflection. What had happened earlier, and if you taught any concept, what is the use of that? Why you have taught that concept to the students? They would be able to reflect upon your concept. Then interpreting. Whatever you have taught, they can interpret. So the question should be like that. Then the key concepts have been discussed sub-concept wise in every chapter with examples, and also given in the form of keywords. In the textbooks, some key concepts also have been discussed with subtopic wise, every chapter with so many examples in the form of some keywords. So textbook is also a very important thing, and we should go beyond the textbook also, NCF says. Not only sticking to the textbook, beyond the textbook also we should go. Both go in hand. Now let's understand the main topic which we are going to deal today, that is academic standards. So what are academic standards? Now let's understand. They are the benchmarks of quality and excellence in education, such as the rigor of curricula, and the difficulty of examinations. That means academic standards are the benchmarks to show the excellence and quality in education, and also it will show how perfectly the curriculum has been made to achieve certain goals, to make the learners best in their life with lots of happening activities. Not only giving knowledge is important, but also we should make the students self-confident also by learning new things, and also apply reasoning thinking abilities when they go out of the school, and also what kind of examinations are given to the students so that they will improve their knowledge. So academic standards are benchmarks, just now we understood. They measures that define what students should know. That means academic standards, what they will define, what students should know and be able to do at specified grade levels, beginning in kindergarten and progressing through grade 12. So academic standards will define what students will know or students will be able to do at any grade level, beginning from kindergarten and progressing through grade 12. Then academic standards focus on what students will need to learn in order to be college and career ready and to be competitive in the job market. Yes, they are very important. Why children are learning so hard? Because they have to work in future, livelihood they have to earn. How these things will be achieved? Because if you have best academic standards to be achieved from the learners or students, then they will be able to career ready. They will go to the college and then they will become career ready in the competitive job market in future. Now let's understand the different academic standards. Each state might have different academic standards, but few I have taken here in common. The first one is conceptual understanding. What is conceptual understanding? That is promoting learning of basic concepts through inquiry, discussions, reflection, given examples through case studies, interpreting, observation, etc. So, conceptual understanding means in the textbook concepts are given. The students, what they will be able to achieve if they read those textbook with the different concepts. It will promote the thorough understanding. They will start thinking about those concepts. They will start discussion. They will inquire from their neighborhood, parents, grandparents, everywhere in the society. They will reflect, also given examples through case studies in the textbooks. Why? For the thorough understanding of the concepts. So interpreting, observation, etc. all are given in the book so that the students will be able to understand the concepts thoroughly. The second one is reading the text given, that is understanding and interpretation. Second academic standard, what does it focuses on? Occasionally there are case studies about farmers, laborers in factory, or images that are used in text which do not directly convey the concept. Time should be given for children to grasp the main ideas, interpret the images. Obviously, first we have understood conceptual understanding. What concepts are given? What are the uses of those things, concepts and all. Now reading the textbook. The students should have the habit of reading the textbook. Who can inculcate this reading habit? The teacher. The teacher should always encourage the students to read the textbook. Why? Because they will understand and interpret what they have read in the book, and they will have so many questions that they will ask to the students to be clarified. So they will grasp the main ideas given in the textbook, and they will interpret. Images are given in the book. They will think in their own way. They will bring out their own thinking. The mind will work faster when they read by themselves. Reading is the best thing. Self-learning happens here also. The third one is information skills. Textbooks alone cannot cover. I will give one example of each academic standard. For conceptual understanding, if we take example wise, if the teacher is teaching suppose history topic, the student history topic, any topic of wars, if she is teaching, the students will be able to understand which wars we can say, Maratha wars. The students will be able to understand the effects of Maratha wars. The students will be able to explain the different causes of wars. The students will be able to define why these wars have had happened. So these are the examples of academic standards related to history. Then we will take the academic standard reading the textbook. The students will be able to understand the different keywords given in the text or passage. So these are the examples of writing the academic standards in the lesson plans also. Then information skills, these academic standards are given in front of the textbooks already by the authorities, educational institutions or curriculum frameworkers. Then let's understand information skills, the third one. Textbooks alone cannot cover all different aspects of social studies or sciences, social studies methodologies. So for example, children living in an urban area can collect information regarding their elected representatives, or children living in rural areas can collect information about the way irrigation or tanks facilities are made available in their areas. So information skills, what is this academic standard? First we understood that textbook reading is important, but beyond the textbook also the teacher has to go. So the students will be able to bring information. The students will be able to know about different areas. They will bring the information maybe from their parents, neighbors, magazines. Nowadays, internet is the best friend of everybody now. So they will find out things and bring the information to the students. For example, if teacher has taught one concept, then she will ask some questions related to the concept which is not in the book. So they will go and find out that information and they will bring it back and they will discuss, so that concepts beyond the textbooks we are going by bringing the information skills from the students. These information may not exactly match with that of the textbooks and will have to be clarified. Obviously, whatever information they have brought, teacher has to clarify and explain if it is related to that. This is the extra knowledge the teacher will give it to the students. Representing the information that they have collected through projects are also an important ability. Obviously, if any information is brought through, if the teacher has given any project work, so that information also very important ability bringing that one. For example, if they collect information about a tank, they may decide to draw an illustration or map, etc., along with written material, or represent the information collected through images or posters. Information skill includes collection of informatics, tabulation, records and analysis. Obviously, if teacher has given any project work, what they will do, suppose a tank, related to a tank. So what they will do? First, they will draw some illustrations or some maps they will bring related to the where these tanks are located, and they will bring some written material related to those tanks, where they are located, what are the lengths, everything they will write about the geographical information. And then they will represent information collected through images and posters. They will and make interesting project, those students with their imagination. So this is information skill. The students will be able to know or bring or collect the extra information related to particular topic. Next, the fourth one is reflection on contemporary issues and questioning. Students need to be encouraged to compare their living conditions along with that of different regions or people from different times. There may not be a single question to these situations or comparisons, giving reasons for certain happening, process and justification of informatics and interpretative. So what is this reflection on contemporary issues and questioning? The students, they will reflect whatever topic is taught, they will reflect back what might have happened in the past, and they will bring now what is the condition, what are the different issues. They will start questioning. The students will be able to ask questions related to those contemporary issues. Now, mapping skills. There are different types of maps and pictures used in the textbooks. Developing ability related to maps as abstract representation of places is important. Mapping skill means not only the maps, they can draw the pictures, make charts, or different things they can use here. So that the things they will grasp. In social sciences, maps are very important. In history, geography, the political science, everywhere they use the maps. So this mapping skill is also very important. There are different stages of developing this ability, from creating a map of their classroom to understand height, distance as represented in a map. There are illustrations, posters and photographs used in textbooks. These images often relate to the text and are not merely for visual effect. Sometimes there are activities like a caption or read the images that are about architecture. So just now I explained that different poster makings or drawings, different chart making or model making. So not only in the textbooks photographs are used, but also these images are related to some text. They are not only just visual effects, they explain many things. They will grasp the things very easily through seeing these maps here. Sometimes there are activities like caption writing. Suppose one image is given, so caption making. Their cognitive thinking will boost up with such kind of activities. Now the sixth one, appreciation and sensitivity. This is the last one. Our country has vast diversity in terms of language, culture, caste, religion, gender, etc. Sorry. Social studies does take into consideration these different aspects and encourages students to be sensitive to these differences. So our country is the world's best country, I feel, because we have n number of cultures and different languages. We have unity in diversity. Diverse country our country is. So students has exposure to learn different things related to different people, different cultures. They were in terms of language, culture, caste, religion, gender, etc. So in social sciences, very interestingly, students can learn different things in this. That teacher has to appreciate. And also the teacher should make them sensitized to these issues. They are very sensitive issues. So the teacher should make the students to sensitize related to all these situations. Excuse me. Now let's conclude the topic. What a teacher should do to achieve these academic standards. Big questions. What is a big question here? What a teacher should do to achieve these academic standards. So first one, promote life skills, constitutional values like liberty, equality, fraternity, justice, national integration, etc. Values like love and compassion, etc. Just now I have taken the social sciences example here. if a teacher want to achieve these academic standards, she should promote life skills to the students, and the constitutional values, how important these are, very important, our constitution for our country, for all the citizens, and the terms like liberty, equality, fraternity, justice given in the constitution, they should be able to explain. National integration, very, very important. So values like love and compassion, etc., she should promote, she or he should promote. Then develop the attitude of appreciation. Whatever our culture, our past history, the teacher should develop the attitude of appreciation for these things, and then encourage the students to participate in different activities. By encouraging the students, the teacher can achieve these academic standards by making the students participate in different activities. So we come to the end of this session. Thanks for your attention and time. As motivation, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Happy learning.